Before we get into this video, I just want to let you guys know that we have opened up a brand new channel that'll be featuring content similar to this channel. However, it'll have a focus on Nintendo Switch as well as mobile gaming. We'll leave a link to that in the description box below, so please check that out, leave us a subscribe, and check out the videos. Now, onto the video. The PlayStation Store is running the great Halloween sale right now, and there are a ton of fantastic deals available, and I want to highlight 10 awesome deals as a part of that. And also, there is a free theme available right now, and it's a great theme, so I want to give you guys a heads up on that. We'll go over that first, and then we'll get into the deals. So the free theme available right now is the Spirit of the North theme. Customize your PlayStation 4 system with this cool blue theme. Looks pretty slick. It's a dynamic theme, so check it out for yourself. It's got a cool look to it. Obviously, it's based on the game Spirit of the North, and that is an incredibly artistic game, so going with that game, this theme goes really well. Even if you didn't play the game, add it to your library, have it, because it is a relatively slick theme. So now let's get onto the deals. Just wanted to make mention of that. So there are a lot of great deals available as a part of this PlayStation Store sale. I'm not going to limit myself to any price point in this video. We will do another video taking a look at the deals under probably $10, so be on the lookout for that. But for this video, we're really opening up the floodgates, and any game can be mentioned, and I want to kick this off with a relatively recent release, and that is Devil May Cry 5. This also comes with some in-game Red Orbs. You'll get 100,000 Red Orbs, which you can use to buy skills and whatnot. It is 50% off, down to $30. Devil May Cry 5 is one of my favorite games of the year, and going into the release of DMC5, I really didn't think it was going to be at this quality level, but leave it to Capcom to continue to shock me with every game release they put out. Monster Hunter World was tremendous, Mega Man 11 was tremendous, and Devil May Cry 5 is just as good. It is a very enjoyable action-adventure title that has some great gameplay, very good performance, which is imperative to an action-oriented title like this. Story's a little bit wacky, however, it's Devil May Cry's story, and it does have some continuity to it, and they do even have a recap section if you don't want to go back and play through all of the other DMC games. $30 for Devil May Cry 5 is a really good buy, so definitely give that a strong recommendation. Let's mention another Capcom game. Resident Evil 2 is 50% off for $30. As I mentioned, Capcom has been knocking it out of the park with all of the games they put out, and Resident Evil 2 was no exception. It is a phenomenal game, a ground-up remake of Resident Evil 2, a game that originally released on the PlayStation 1, and that is a very old game. It had a great reception back then, but obviously a PS1 game versus a PS4 game, it's gonna be night and day, and from a visual standpoint, it absolutely is, but from a layout standpoint, you can actually see a lot of the resemblances to Resident Evil 2, and if you played Resident Evil 2 a lot back in the day, you can actually breeze through this game relatively quickly through all the puzzles and whatnot. The game itself isn't the lengthiest game in the world. DMC5 wasn't either, but however, these are games that really emphasize quality over quantity, and the quality in Resident Evil 2 must not be understated. It is a tremendous game. The gameplay is great, story is great, and Capcom has done a decent job of keeping it updated. They released some free content for it as well, so all that stuff is really good, and now for it being down to $30, definitely worth a buy. Next up, we have Dark Souls 3, which is 75% off for $15. If you have yet to play a Souls game, I really don't know what to say. However, I will say that Dark Souls 3 is a great starting point. It has great visuals. The gameplay is that Souls gameplay you know and love. Yes, it's very challenging, but it's incredibly rewarding at the same time. As far as the Souls games are concerned, this is probably the most accessible one out of the three. Dark Souls 1 is probably my personal favorite. However, I could understand that if a newcomer is getting into Dark Souls 3 is probably the title you want to get. Maybe you would rather prefer Bloodborne, but incredible boss fights, and you've got that Dark Souls gameplay that most of you should know and love. However, if you're still eyeing up Dark Souls 3 now in 2019, maybe you're one of those newcomers to Dark Souls, and yeah, you should definitely jump on board. It's a great series, and From Software is one of the best studios in all of gaming. Next up, we have Dishonored Death of the Outsider bundle. This includes Dishonored 2 as well as the standalone expansion in Dishonored Death of the Outsider. The Imperial Assassins pack is also included. These games can be bought separately. Dishonored 2 is available right now for $19.99, and Death of the Outsider is available for $14.99. If you've yet to check out Dishonored, I would just say get this bundle. They do have Dishonored 1 remastered on sale as well. I believe that's $9.99, so that's something you can check out as well. Dishonored 2 is a substantial improvement upon Dishonored 1. The gameplay, the story, you've got two different characters you can play as, and while the game does play pretty similar with each of the characters, there are enough differences that makes the game worthwhile to go through both times. And Death of the Outsider is also a pretty good standalone expansion that offers more gameplay. Dishonored, I just think, is a great IP. I think Bethesda and Arcane Studios really hit a gold mine with this one just because of the depth to its gameplay, the presentation. It's got a really unique art style. There's a lot of great qualities about Dishonored, and hopefully at some point we do see a Dishonored 3. I don't know if we are, but Dishonored 2 is definitely a game you should add to your playlist. Next up, here's a great bundle from Bethesda as well. The Doom and Wolfenstein 2 bundle is down to just $23, which is an awesome deal. Essentially, you're paying, what, $11.50 for each game. Doom, when it does go on sale, is usually around that $15 range, and Wolfenstein 2 rarely goes under like $19.79, so these two for $23.09 is a great buy. Doom is an awesome first-person shooter. I cannot say enough good things about that one. Obviously, Doom Eternal is coming out. It was originally scheduled to release next month. However, it got pushed back to March, which was a little bit of a bummer as that was one of my more anticipated games of this season, but nonetheless, it means the game is going to turn out better. That's probably for the best. Doom is fantastic. If you've yet to play it, definitely cop that because from a single player standpoint, it is awesome. The multiplayer leaves a little bit to be desired, but it does look like they're remedying that in Doom Eternal, so that's great. And Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, is a great game as well. While I thought it got a little bit wacky towards the end, I thought the majority of the game was rather good, and I would recommend that you play Wolfenstein The New Order prior to Wolfenstein 2. However, it does have a little bit of a recap video, and if you just want to get into it for the fast-paced action shooting gameplay, then, you know, it's not a big deal that you don't know the backstory behind what's going on in Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus to a T, but the game is great, and New Order was great as well, so I think if you play The New Colossus, you'll like it so much that you'll end up playing New Order as well. They're great titles. $23.09 for both of them is a steal. Next up, something that's actually thematic to the horror theme of Halloween, The Evil Within 2 is 67% off for $19.79, which is a great deal. This game is done by Tango Gameworks from the mastermind known as Shinji Mikami. The Evil Within 2 turned out to be a tremendous game, a substantial improvement upon the first game, and The Evil Within 2 is a game that I would say that you can jump right into this one. Honestly, that's probably what I would recommend because it is such a significant improvement upon the first game. If you want a quality survival horror title, this is one to get. Visually, it looks great, gameplay is great, and the story is quite good as well. $19.79, a little bit pricey for a game that's, what, over 2 years old at this point, but really, that's just me being cheap as hell. The game is absolutely worth that price, so give that a look. Next up, I want to give a shout to A Plague Tale Innocence, which is 40% off for $29.99. This one also has a free demo available, which I imagine some of you guys will want to take advantage of just because this is a lesser known game and $30 is still a hefty price point, but man oh man, did this game surprise a lot of people. I was looking forward to this game heading into its release, and then it completely blew me away after it came out. From a storytelling standpoint, this is one of the best games of the year, arguably the best of the year. I know that might be a little bit hyperbolic to some of you guys, but actually play the game and you can understand why. The game is captivating from the get-go. It's incredibly engrossing. The visuals are great, and again, the storytelling is absolutely top-notch. It does offer like 12 to 15 hours of gameplay, so $30 isn't that bad, and given that it's, what, just 6 months old at this point, you know, it holding up a higher price point is kind of warranted. And again, try out the free demo, see how you like it. If you don't pick it up now, do wait for it to go on a little bit more of a discount, but definitely keep it on your radar, add it to your wish list, and pick it up at some point. Now isn't a bad time. Next up, we have Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, 50% off for $14.99. Dragon's Dogma was one of my favorite games of last generation. It was just a really well done action open world RPG from Capcom. Didn't get a significant reception, however, it did get a expansion in Dark Arisen, and then it got a re-release on the PlayStation 4 with Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. It has the base game, it has the expansion, it has the game improved for the PlayStation 4, which is great because one of the limitations of the game was the fact that it was running on the 360 and PS3, and you could see those technical limitations. Those handcuffs are completely removed on the PlayStation 4. The game looks great, it plays great, and for $14.99, it is a great pickup. It does have some deep combat, and it is a little bit more challenging, so bear that in mind. A lot of people will draw resemblances to Souls, but it definitely has its own elements to it. Would not classify the game as a Souls-like game, just some of those elements do cross over. But definitely for $14.99 worth a buy. Next up, we have Vampyr, 75% off for $14.99. What a great buy on this. This is one of those games that really shocked me last year. Much like A Plague Tale Innocence for a lot of people, this is a game that didn't have a lot of buzz going into its release, and then when it came out, it generated that buzz just based on the quality level. Is Vampyr a perfect game? Absolutely not. Some of the gameplay elements leave a lot to be desired, but this game was done by Don't Nod Entertainment, the same guys that brought you Life is Strange, so you could immediately tell from a storytelling standpoint this game was gonna be good, and it absolutely is from that. Great story. The main character is one of the better main characters in gaming, and superb voice acting as well. I have to say this has some of the best voice acting that a game has had in recent memory, and now down to $14.99, I would definitely say it's worth a buy. I could understand why you would be hesitant at the full $60, but at $15, definitely a palatable price point. And lastly, I do want to give a shout to World War Z, which is 50% off for $19.99. This is a really recent release. It came out back in April of this year, and given that it already released at a $39.99 price point, it going on sale makes it an even more enticing purchase. But this is a game that you really want to play with a couple of friends. Saber Interactive designed an awesome cooperative experience that they've stayed incredibly committed to. This is a game that is still getting content to this day, and they're rolling out more and more stuff to do and more gameplay elements, and that's been great. It has you battle swarms of hundreds of zombies, and the swarm engine seamlessly renders hordes of zombies in incredible firefights. If you're a fan of cooperative games like Left 4 Dead and games like that, World War Z is going to be right up your alley, and for $19.99 it is absolutely worth a buy. Definitely give that a look. If you can convince a couple of other friends to pick it up or they already own it, then jump into the co-op fun with them. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, the Halloween sale has a ton of great deals available right now, and along with that, the Spirit of the North theme is available for free, a slick dynamic theme, so give that a look as well. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.